Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video we're going to be doing cattle walk. So our bulls, which are all inside now at the moment, going to be getting them out. We've a number of jobs we need to do with them. We're going to do them for worms, fluke. We're going to be clipping their backs. We're going to be foot bathing them as well, and we're going to be giving them some shots along the way as well. Just before we get going at it, don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, to hit the sub button, to ring the little bell beside the sub button. It gives you a notification every time I post a video, and hit the like button. Comment down below if you have any questions. I'll try to get back to you if I can. Yeah, do that. Be very grateful. Let's get going. Okay, so we're just ready in the foot bath here before we start. This is a formaldehyde blend that we're putting in, suitable for both cattle and sheep. Purple in colour this here, which is a little bit unusual. It's usually a clear colour. And then this is just a bit of bluestone that we're just adding in there as well. Find that the mixture of both is very good for their feet. Any foot issues, whether it be like a foot rot or any of those funguses that you can get growing on their feet, split hoof, anything like that, bacteria, it tends to kill any of those things, and it also helps to harden the foot up and readies them then for the winter on the slats. As a rule, we just have to do it once a year. We have done it a couple times twice in the 1 year, maybe 3 times in the 1 year on different times in the past where we've had foot issues, but haven't had many foot issues in the last number of years, and tends to just, we get away with you doing it once, so that is great if it gets like that. Cattle are a wee bit slow to get up and get moving and get out into the pen, because we've been down for a cup of tea. We've done one side of the shed, left, got a cup of tea. We're just back up now to finish off, and a lot of the cattle had actually laid down in probably in around an hour that we were away. So yeah, slow enough to get up, but they're slowly just filtering out. The last few now is just heading out. This guy is only up and standing, and it's a little bit stiff. Cattle are doing very well. Extremely happy with how they're doing so far. They're not a massive amount of meal, so it's not all of that. The potatoes that we feed we have increased the amount that they're getting, but it's mostly silage still. So yeah, it would point that our silage's quality is quite good. We haven't had it tested yet, but we probably will at some point. I say that every year, and the last couple of years I haven't got it tested because, well, you're feeding the cattle and they're doing well on the silage. It kind of just speaks for itself. It's a bit like the dairy guy. The dairy man is feeding the good silage. If he moves on to a different pet and his quality drops, he'll see it in his milk yield, it'll drop straight away. It's a bit like that with beef cattle as well. Yeah, just trying to lock them in on the bottom end of this pen and try and get them up the crush. Usually slow enough to get them started, especially when you have a full pen out and they all stick their heads in the one corner. But yeah, we're just trying to ease them up slowly, and they are just starting to filter up, some of them. Using the cattle prod, the batteries aren't working that great in it. I'm actually 90% of the time here, when you see me touching an animal with it, I just use it just to kind of stick it into them. I'm not pulling the trigger. So yeah, and not that pulling the trigger doesn't make a whole pile of difference at the minute on it. The batteries are more or less dead. So yeah, could do a new set of batteries in it, and we'll have to get a new set in it before we start doing the heifers. Yeah, the bulls are actually tend to be easier to handle than the heifers anyway. Heifers, we all end up getting, at some point when you're working with, if you take out a shed of heifers, everyone tends to get a kick of one of them for some reason. They're a bit more flighty, and alright, you get one bull, maybe they could be backed up a bit, but most of them's quite quiet. You can see here, using the Jaguar here, it's not working, and it's not even moving forward, and that's because the batteries are gone. So yeah, but they're just filtering up now, trying to get the last one in, and that is it. So we're going to start doing our treatments now. Yeah, some of you may have seen previous videos, but we're just going to go through a wee bit more on what we're doing exactly. This injection here that I'm just giving them 2 mil of blackleg. So it's just more or less a blackleg vaccine a lot of these cattle have been bought in, so I'm not sure if they've been vaccinated in the past. Some of them may have been, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to vaccinate them. Blackleg, it's always an issue if bulls that weren't vaccinated for blackleg, and it can lie dormant in the system sometimes. If bulls started fighting, one of them gets a kick and a damage or a bruise on a muscle, the blackleg can kick in then at that stage, and the bull can start having issues. The bull will more than likely be dead before you'll see what happened to him. So hence why we're just vaccinating for that. Clipping the tails, clipping the backs. I've explained plenty of times in the past why we do that. Helps the animal breathe better. A lot of our winters are mild here in Ireland, so even though it can be cold at certain times of the year, it can be very mild as well. So the fact that if they're inside, you want them to be able to breathe and not be sweating or uncomfortable in the shed. So just clipping this strip down the back allows the animal to sweat out through the tops of the back, and it helps them in a lot of different ways. They don't overheat. It means that they're less likely to catch pneumonia. The fact that their body temperature is better, it means that they'll perform better and the weight gain will be better. There's a few different benefits to it, so it's a little bit time consuming, but it's very much a worthwhile process. The shears themselves, a lot of people ask me what make the shears are. They're Heiniger, they're called. Excellent shear. We've had these particular shears for years, absolute years, and excellent shear. Now they clip a lot of cattle, and at different times there has been little parts that can wear in them, but all spare parts are available online, so it's not an issue. You just order them online and you'll have them in a day or two, get you back up and running. But no issues at all. Super set of shears. The only thing that I would like, if I was changing them, I'd like to get a set of the battery ones. These are just plug into the wall to work, but they're all now rechargeable batteries in them, so that would be nice. The lead sometimes can catch in certain things. I've had in the past maybe an animal stick their leg up and just catch the lead and pull it back down, and it pulled the shears out of my hand, but that's only happened I think maybe once. But even though, it would be nice to have a set of those lightweight ones. So we'll see. At some stage, we'll change over to those lightweight battery powered ones. But we'll see what happens. Probably wait until these break down again or something big happens to them, and we'll change then at that point. What else are we doing to the cattle? Obviously footbathing them as they're walking through the footbath. Their feet are getting done. They're also being done for worms, so just an injectable worm they're getting at the stage, and we're also doing them for fluke. So it's like EndoFluke we use. Find it probably the best of the flukes because it kills all stages of flukes. It kills the mature, the immature, and the early immature. So it kills all three stages. And along with that, then we take their tag numbers so we know which pen each animal is in, and we also write down at this point then if they're missing a tag, and that's noted, and then we can order replacement tags for any animals that only has one tag. So simple enough. Alright, so done and dusted. Everything is actually even cleaned up. We've got everything cleaned up nice and quickly, but great to have the bulls all done. A lot of them are actually lying down, so nice and settled after the whole ordeal outside, which is all great. Great to have them done, great to have that done. Heifers now is the next thing. We're going to be doing those. There is a few bulls in the top shed, which we are going to try and take down and just get them settled in here. These pens aren't 100% full on this side. They'll hold a few more in each pen, and we'll have to try and get them integrated in there without any injuries or anything happening. So how we're going to do that, it's not going to be simple, but we'll get it done at some point over the next week or so. Nothing really more to report. Great to have it done. No injuries to us, no injuries to them, and that's always a huge bonus. So so next job that we're going to do is we're going down the road. We're going to move the cows. Final move of the year. them just moving from where they're grazing at the moment to across the road into 6 acres that we have there that grass is quite strong on it, so you maybe see a bit of foliage. I'll take a bit of foliage of them when I'm down there. But moving them across, move across some feeders as well. Calves are getting creep, and the cows are also, there's a couple of round feeders down there. They're getting some dry feed as well. But yeah, I'll set up the camera, get a bit of footage down there, and see how we get on there. What? Alright, so we're finished with the cows. That's really it for today on the lines of cattle walk. Just going to feed the cattle now. We're kind of running a day late anyway, but we've had a productive day, a lot of work done, which is great. And great to get the cows moved into fresh pasture. The final move probably be in around 2 weeks' time. We'll see how they got on, how long it takes to eat down the grass that they're on. Maybe the weather turned bad and they'll be in a week's time if there's a lot of rain or something, but we'll just have to see. Yeah, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the sub button, leave a like in the video, and a comment down below if you have any questions or anything or want to make any comments. Drop them in the comment section. I do try to get back to you. If I don't, I always read them anyway, and they're very much appreciated. All those interactions all help the channel, and yeah, I'm very grateful for those. Upcoming videos, the trailer's back, so we're going to see plenty of that. Going to be all made up, see how it's turned out, but I'm quite impressed. See you in the next one.